Joshua chapters 15 through 17. And the borders of the tribe of Judah, according to their families, were from the borders of Idumea, from the wilderness of Sin, as far as Kadesh southward. And their borders were from the south as far as a part of the Salt Sea, from the high country that extends southward. And they proceed before the ascent of Akrabim, and go out round Sina, and go up from the south to Kadesh Barney, and go out to Asaron, and proceed up to Sarada, and go out by the way that is west of Kadesh. And they go out to Salmona, and issue at the valley of Egypt. And the termination of its boundaries shall be at the sea. These are their boundaries southward. Their boundaries eastward are all the Salt Sea as far as Jordan. And their borders from the north, and from the border of the sea, and from part of Jordan. The borders go up to Beth-galam, and they go along the north to Beth-arabah. And the borders go on up to the stone of Beon, the son of Reuben. And the borders continue on to the fourth part of the valley of Achor, and go down to Galgal, which is before the approach of Adamin, which is southward in the valley, and terminate at the water of the fountain of the sun. And their going forth shall be the fountain of Rogel. And the borders go up to the valley of Enom, behind Jehus southward. This is Jerusalem. And the borders terminate at the top of the mountain, which is before the valley of Enom, toward the sea, which is by the side of the land of Raphan, northward. And the border going forth from the top of the mountain terminates at the fountain of the water of Naphtho, and terminates at Mount Ephron. And the border will lead to Baal. This is the city of Jeram. And the border will go round from Baal to the sea, and will go on to the Mount of Asar, behind the city of Jeram northwards. This is Caslon. And it will come down to the city of the sun, and will go on to the south. And the border terminates behind Acharon northward. And the borders will terminate at Succoth, and the borders will go on to the south, and will terminate at Lebna, and the issue of the borders will be at the sea, and their borders shall be toward the sea. The great sea shall be the boundary. These are the borders of the children of Judah, round about according to their families. And to Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a portion in the midst of the children of Judah, by the command of God. And Joshua gave him the city of Arbach, the metropolis of Enoch. This is Hebron. And Caleb the son of Jephunneh destroyed thence the three sons of Enoch, Susi, and Thelami, and Echema. And Caleb went up thence to the inhabitants of Dabir. The name of Dabir was before the city of letters. And Caleb said, Whosoever shall take and destroy the city of letters, and master it, to him will I give my daughter Askah to wife. And Gothoniel, the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it. And he gave him Askah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, as she went out, that she counseled him, saying, I will ask my father's field. And she cried from off her ass, and Caleb said to her, What is it? And she said to him, Give me a blessing, for thou hast set me in the land of Negeb. Give me Bothanes. And he gave her Gonithalah the upper, and Gonithalah the lower. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah. And their cities were cities belonging to the tribe of the children of Judah, on the borders of Edom, by the wilderness, and Beslael, and Ara, and Asor, and Ikam, and Regma, and Aruel, and Kadesh, and Asorionain, and Menam, and Balmenon, and their villages, and the cities of Asaron. This is Asor, and Sin, and Salmea, and Molada, and Seri, and Bephlath, and Kolaskola, and Beer-Sabe, and their villages, and their hamlets, Bala, and Bakok, and Asom, and Elbuadad, and Bethel, and Herma, and Sekalak, and Makarim, and Sethanek, and Labos, and Saleh, and Ermoth, 29 cities and their villages. In the plain country, Astael, and Rea, and Asa, and Raman, and Tano, and Eluthoth, and Mine, and Jermuth, and Odolam, and Membra, and Seoko, and Jessica, and Sacharim, and Gadara, and its villages, 14 cities and their villages, Senna, and Adasan, and Magadalgad, and Dalad, and Masphah, and Jachareel, and Basadoth, and Ideadalia, and Cabra, and Machis, and Maakos, and Gedor, and Bagadil, and Noman, and Macedon, 16 cities and their villages, Lebna, and Ithak, and Anak, and Janna, and Nasib, and Galam, and Achiazeh, and Kezib, and Bathasar, and Elam, 10 cities and their villages, Acharon and her villages and their hamlets, from Acharon, Gemna, and all the cities that are near Asadoth and their villages, Aseadoth and her villages, and her hamlets, Gaza and its villages and its hamlets, as far as the river of Egypt, and the great sea is the boundary. And in the hill country Samir, and Jether, and Soka, and Rena, and the city of letters, this is Debir, and Anon, and Es, and Man, and Esam, and Gosam, and Kalu, and Cana, and Gelam, 11 cities and their villages, Eram, and Remna, and Soma, and Jimain, and Bethaku, and Bakua, and Yuma, and the city Arbach, this is Kebron, and Sorath, 9 cities and their villages, Maor, and Kermel, and Ozib, and Etan, and Jariel, and Arakem, and Zachanaim, and Gabeah, and Thamnatha, 9 cities and their villages, Elua, and Bethsur, and Gedon, and Magaroth, and Bethanem, and Thecum, 6 cities and their villages, Theco, and Ephrathah, this is Bethlehem, and Phagor, and Eton, and Kulon, and Tatum, and Thobes, and Karam, and Galam, and Fether, and Manoko, 11 cities and their villages, Kariath Baal, this is the city of Jerim, and Sothaba, 2 cities and their villages, and Badargis, and Therabaim, and Enon, and Eokioza, and Naphtalizon, and the cities of Sadon, and Ankades, 7 cities and their villages. And the Jebusites dwelt in Jerusalem, and the children of Judah could not destroy them, and the Jebusites dwelt in Jerusalem to this day. And the borders of the children of Joseph were from Jordan by Jericho eastward, and they will go up from Jericho to the hill country, to the wilderness, to Bethel-Luzah. And they will go out to Bethel, and will proceed to the borders of Akatharothi. And they will go across to the sea, to the borders of Abtalim, as far as the borders of Bethoron the lower, and going forth of them shall be to the sea. And the sons of Joseph, Ephraim and Manasseh, took their inheritance. And the borders of the children of Ephraim were according to their families, and the borders of their inheritance were eastward to Ataroth, and Arok as far as Bethoron the upper, and Gazara. And the borders will proceed to the sea, to Ekasmon, north of Therma. They will go round eastward to Thanasa, and Selis, and will pass on eastward to Janoka, and to Mako, and Ataroth, and these are their villages. And they will come to Jericho, and will issue at Jordan. And the borders will proceed from Tapho to the sea to Kelkana, and their termination will be at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of Ephraim, according to their families. And the cities separated to the sons of Ephraim were in the midst of the inheritance of the sons of Manasseh, all the cities and their villages. And Ephraim did not destroy the Canaanite who dwelt in Gezer. And the Canaanite dwelt in Ephraim until this day, until Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, went up and took it, and burnt it with fire. And the Canaanites, and Perizzites, and dwellers in Gaza they destroyed. And Pharaoh gave them for a dowry to his daughter. And the borders of the tribe of the children of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, assigned to Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Galead, for he was a warrior, were in the land of Galead and of Basan. And there was land assigned to the other sons of Manasseh according to their families, to the sons of Jezi, and to the sons of Kelez, and to the sons of Jeziel, and to the sons of Sychem, and to the sons of Semarim, and to the sons of Ophir. These are the males according to their families. And Salpead, the sons of Ophir, had no sons but daughters. And these are the names of the daughters of Salpead: Maalah, and Nuah, and Eglah, and Melka, and Thirsa. And they stood before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua, and before the rulers, saying, God gave a charge by the hand of Moses, to give us an inheritance in the midst of our brethren. So there was given to them by the command of the Lord an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And their lot fell to them from Manasseh, and to the plain of Labech in the land of Galead, which is beyond Jordan. For the daughters of the sons of Manasseh inherited a portion in the midst of their brothers, and the land of Galead was assigned to the remainder of the sons of Manasseh. And the borders of the sons of Manasseh were Delaneth, which is before the sons of Anath, and it proceeds to the borders even to Jamin and Jasib, to the fountain at Thaphth. It shall belong to Manasseh, and Thapheth on the borders of Manasseh shall belong to the sons of Ephraim. And the borders shall go down to the valley of Karana, southward by valley of Jeriel. There is a turpentine tree belonging to Ephraim between that and the city of Manasseh. And the borders of Manasseh are northward, to the brook, and the sea shall be in its termination. Southward the land belongs to Ephraim, and northward to Manasseh. And the sea shall be their coast, and northward they shall border upon Asab, and eastward upon Issachar. And Manasseh shall have in the portion of Issachar, and Aser Bethsan, and their villages, and the inhabitants of Dor, and its villages, and the inhabitants of Megiddo, and its villages, and the third part of Mapheta, and its villages. And the sons of Manasseh were not able to destroy these cities, and the Canaanite began to dwell in that land. And it came to pass that when the children of Israel were strong, they made the Canaanites subject, but they did not utterly destroy them. And the sons of Joseph answered Joshua, saying, Wherefore hast thou caused us to inherit one inheritance and one line? Whereas I am a great people, and God has blessed me. And Joshua said to them, If thou be a great people, go up to the forest, and clear the land for thyself, if Mount Ephraim be too little for thee. And they said, The Mount of Ephraim does not please us, and the Canaanite dwelling in it, in Bethsan, and in its villages, and in the valley of Jezreel, has choice cavalry and iron. And Joshua said to the sons of Joseph, If thou art a great people, and hast great strength, thou shalt not have only one inheritance. For thou shalt have the wood, for there is a wood, and thou shalt clear it, and the land shall be thine. Even when thou shalt have utterly destroyed the Canaanite, for he has chosen cavalry, yet thou art stronger than he. Psalm 69, 70 in Hebrew, for the end, by David for remembrance, that the Lord may save me. Draw nigh, O God, to my help. Let them be ashamed and confounded that seek my soul. Let them be turned backward and put to shame that wish me evil. Let them that say to me, Aha, aha, be turned back and put to shame immediately. Let all that seek thee exult and be glad in thee. And let those that love thy salvation say continually, Let God be magnified. But I am poor and needy. O God, help me. Thou art my helper and deliverer. O Lord, delay not. Proverbs chapter 14, verses 16 through 20. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but the fool trusts in himself and joins himself with the transgressor. A passionate man acts inconsiderately, but a sensible man bears up under many things. Fools shall have mischief for their portion, but the prudent shall take fast hold of understanding. Evil men shall fall before the good, and the ungodly shall attend at the gates of the righteous. Friends will hate poor friends, but the friends of the rich are many. The Holy Gospel according to St. Mark, chapter 16. And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James, and Salome, had bought sweet spices, that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. Entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were affrighted. And he saith unto them, Be not affrighted. Ye seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. Behold, the place where they laid him. But go your way. Tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him, as he said unto you. And they went out quickly, and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed. Neither said they anything to any man, for they were afraid. And when Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. And she went and told them that had been with him, as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive, and had been seen of her, believed not. After that he appeared in another form unto 2 of them, as they walked, and went into the country. And they went and told it unto the residue, neither believed they them. Afterward he appeared unto the 11, as they sat at meat, and upbraided them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. So then, after the Lord had spoken unto them, he was received up into heaven, and sat on the right hand of God. And they went forth, and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them, and confirming the word with signs following. Amen.